Hello and welcome to the first video I am making for 2025. So happy New Year's. I just wanted to do a quick little update, recap type video and go over all the books that I read in 2024 and then go over some New Year's reading goals that I have for 2025. But if you're interested in all the books that I've read and maybe you can take some recommendations with you, please stay tuned, and then maybe some of my goals can help you come up with some goals if you still haven't quite figured out. And maybe if you're new to reading and you're interested, just stay tuned. So to begin, I read 19 books in 2024, which maybe if you're a good fast reader may not seem like a lot to you, but it was a lot more than I thought I would get done. My reading goal for 2024 was to read a book a month, so that was 12 books total. So I did pass that, which I'm very proud of. And starting this YouTube channel did really push me to go way past the 12 mark. So that's really exciting and it makes me want to continue doing this. But I just want to kind of go individually through the books. I won't spend too much time kind of explaining the books just because this is more of like a recap, not a recommendation video. But if you guys do want to know more, I can maybe do another update video, or you can just look them up on Goodreads, which I'll leave my Goodreads account linked down in the description. That way maybe you can easily find them if you go to my profile. But I have my list here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at, just so I know. And then some of the books, they're a really lengthy name, so I didn't write the full thing on here, but I will input pictures. That way you guys know along with my ranking. Okay, so to start off, book number 1, I began my series that I talk about in my other videos if you've seen them. And the first book is Insidious. And I wouldn't say it's the best series ever, but if you're looking for a good paranormal romance book that is just an ebook, you don't like buy a physical copy, I'd recommend that one. That one's really good. I like the way that the author writes these. But I gave this one a 3.5, and then I jumped straight into the second book, which is Covetous, and I gave that one a 4. And then moving on, I listened to Jeanette McCurdy's book, which is I'm Glad My Mom Died. I kind of forgot I listened to that last year. It feels like a long time ago that I did that. But that was such an interesting read. That was like my highest ranking of the whole year, which was a 5-star. If you haven't read it, I would recommend listening to the audiobook because Jeanette actually does the audiobook. So I loved it. I learned so much about her that I never knew. And it was definitely a hard read. So quick trigger if you're sensitive to certain things. Maybe look at the trigger warnings first. But moving on, I then went and I read a poetry book, which I want to do more of. But this one is The Mermaid's Voice Returns. And that one I gave a 4-star. And then after that, I read The Dead Romantics, and this book was a 4-star. This book honestly pushed me for the rest of the year to keep reading. This one got me out of my reading slump, which is why I rave about Ashley Poston in my other videos, and I want to read more from her. So continuing on from then, I finished the 3rd book in the series, which is Viperous. I gave that a 4-star. And then the 7th book I read was It Ends With Us, and I was planning on reading the book before watching the movie. Have I watched the movie? No. I still want to, but there was a lot of drama that came out about it, and then I was trying to find a time with my friends to go, and I think we just like weren't matching up. But anyways, it's like on streaming services now, so I'm pretty sure we'll watch it sometime soon. But that one I gave a 3-star, not the best book. I tend to like going into books blind, and that one maybe I shouldn't have, but I didn't see any trigger warnings on the book, which I'm kind of surprised about. I don't know if that's all copies, maybe the copy I just got, but there was nothing on there. So trigger warnings, look up for that one too. I was not aware that there was abuse in the book. I honestly thought it was just a fluffy romance, but again, kind of my fault because I like going into books blind, so just saying, I was shocked. But the next book I read, I actually went and I took a solo trip to the beach. Best thing I did. That was probably like a highlight of 2024. And I decided to read Beach Read by Emily Henry. And that book, made me a complete fan. I am a stan of Emily Henry. I will read anything this lady writes. I read one book from her before, which I believe was The Book Lovers, I think is what it's called. And that one was like alright, but this one, like, memorable. I loved this one. Not a 5-star though, I gave it 4. I'm very stingy about my 5 stars apparently. And then this is when I really started getting into the YouTube, and a lot of these books I probably mentioned in my other videos, but I listened to Fall Into You, which I gave a 3-star, and then I jumped right into listening to my roommate's Vampire, which is another 3-star. And then after that, I did The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which was another 3-star. None of those 3 books were really great, but they really pushed me for this season, and just to kind of keep reading books that I can review for you guys, which was, 3 stars aren't bad. They're pretty good. They were interesting enough. And then I finished out the series with her last book, which is Ruinous. 800 pages, like more than 800 pages, but I devoured it. I love it. I gave that one a 4-star. And then 13 through 17, they were just the Under the Mistletoe Amazon Christmas book series, which I did enjoy. On average, I would give them a 3-star. Some of them were like a little bit okay, and some of them were like, oh, that's kind of cute. But it really got me into like the Christmas spirit because I was reading seasonally. And then after that, I read Bright Lights, Big Christmas. I gave that one 4 stars. And then my 19th and final book was my lowest ranking of the year. I read Butcher and Blackbird, and I gave that one a 2-star. I don't know if it was just that book, or maybe if dark romance maybe just isn't my thing. I do want to read more dark romance to kind of see, but that one was just a little bit much. And it could be just I don't like dark romance, but I do want to read more to see. It was just not really my taste, so I gave that one a 2-star. But those are the 19 books that I did read for 2024. And my goal of the year again was 12, and I read 19, so I'm pretty proud of it. I hope to kind of go over my reading goal for 2025, just so I can, it always feels good, like, yeah, when you hit the mark, but when you go over, it's like, yeah. So I'll take that as my transition to go over my 2025 reading goals. So let me pull up my notes app because I have them listed down there. But basically, I kind of want to do the same thing as I did in 2024, where not put too much pressure on how much I read, especially because I am in nursing school. And last year I was still in like the general education classes, so it was still pretty easy to multitask everything. But this month I just started my actual like nursing classes with like simulations and clinicals, and it's a lot. There's a lot of assignments, but I still want to partake in this. I think this is super fun, and it really has pushed me to read more. But it is going to be not as much of a priority as my nursing school stuff is, so I don't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I want to read 1 book a month. And I kind of want to diversify my reading, so another goal would be I want to read at least 1 classic book in the year. I have 12 months to do it. I can do it. There's just so many that I keep hearing about. Obviously they're a classic for a reason, so we're going to hear about it, but I read a couple in high school. Like I read Frankenstein, I read The Great Gatsby, and there's others that I've just heard of that just sound so interesting. Like I've always wanted to read Dracula. There's A Picture of Dorian Gray. There's like Rebecca that I want to read. Wuthering Heights, like all those type of books. I would love to. Pride and Prejudice. So I'm going to pick one. I don't know exactly what I'm leaning towards, but at least 1 before the year ends I would like to read. And I think that the book covers for the classics can be kind of really pretty, and I want to own the pretty classic books and look like a smart reading girl instead of just always reading fluffy romance books. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just want to look a little bit smart. And then also picking more of a genre. I want to read more self-help books. I do have a couple that I own, not really many, but I see a lot on, if you guys use the app called Lemon 8, I have a app for that. I can link it down below as well if you guys wanted to follow me there, or just use the app. It's honestly almost like a Pinterest type Instagram feed. Not to brand, I'm not getting paid for this, but it's pretty interesting. I've seen books on there. I've seen books on like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and this year my whole like main goal is to be like a successful girl and more of just like prioritizing myself, and I think a nice self-help book will be beneficial to that. There's so many things that I have to learn about like myself and life, and I'm pretty excited to diversify my reading in that kind of way instead of living all in the fantasy world, even though I love that. That is the best way to live, in my personal opinion. But other than that, I want to read more popular books. I think the books that I kind of primarily focus on are more backlist titles, or I don't want to really say niche, but I'm pretty sure no one has really heard of the Marked Mages Chronicles. But I love things like that. But I also want to understand why people like certain books, so reading more into those popular books will be pretty interesting for me. Like there's so many books that I own that I haven't even like read. Like right here I have The Vampire Academy. Like I know that's technically a backlist title, but it's a popular book and I've never read it. So I want to read more of the books that everybody else has read so I understand the hype and I can be a part of it. I don't want to be a loner. But then continuing on, I actually only have one more goal that I wrote down, which is to read more seasonally, which I did this year, and I did specifically because I started my YouTube channel. So I read a lot of like fall, Halloween, and Christmas books, and it really got me into the season and I really enjoyed it. So I want to do that again this year in 2025, just to be more seasonal and just to kind of almost like relate with other people, because everyone in Halloween time is reading like horror books and everyone in Christmas time is reading like winter books, and it's fun. And I definitely want to do more of that. That was the first year I really like partook in stuff like that, so that was really exciting and it got me in the mood of like reading. So, oh, I think one other thing I did not write is that I actually plan this year on starting a reading journal. So I can do a quick flip through kind of on the reading journal that I have. And I've actually owned this reading journal before, and then I kind of abandoned it. I don't know if I got in like a reading slump or if I got lazy and I didn't want to do it anymore. And then after I used this reading journal, I created my own. But I'm not a very like artistic person. I'm not good at like drawing. I don't really know how to do like calligraphy. So it's easier to like use a reading journal that's kind of already like made for you. So if you're looking to do a reading journal and you're not artsy crafty either, I would recommend this one, which is, it's kind of hard to see on here, but it's a Clockwork reader, which she is a YouTuber. She is a big YouTuber. And if you were following the booktube thing, you probably know who she is. It's from Hannah. Again, like I said, I've had one of these before and I'm very excited to get into a second one. I could take mine down and show it to you guys, but it's kind of like, it's up on like my shelf and it's under things, so use your imagination. But it's really cute. Like there's so many illustrations. She kind of like shows an example of like how to use them, and all the pages look like this, but they're blank and you kind of fill it in yourself. And the way that I used it, like here she did a little doodle, but actually in these spaces I go on Pinterest and I look up aesthetic pictures that remind me of the book. This is an example of the blank page. So right in here I just put a couple of pictures that I print out of aesthetics to kind of remind me of how the book went, the vibes the book were, and it just like made me really think more about the book instead of like finishing it and be like, okay, next one. So I really enjoyed it, and then maybe this will also help me to give better reviews on here. I don't want to say like I give bad reviews. I don't think I do, but no one's complained yet. But I think that it might help me say a little bit more about the books, because maybe I'm like, oh, it was cute, it was fluffy, like I liked it, but I can give a more in-depth analysis. Big brain. I could give a more in-depth analysis about the books. That way I can give better feedback for you guys, because you guys obviously are coming on to like booktube videos for recommendations. So hopefully I can give better ones. There's also other things to do, like I can do my to be read. I don't want to show too much of the book, But definitely if you're looking for something already pre-made and you just want to jot down your thoughts, I recommend this. And there's so many room. So if you're a big reader, you have room. I will not be using all these pages for this year. I'll be using this for the next year and the next year and the next year. But other than that, I don't really have any more goals. There is a jet going by. It was going by when I started the video and I had to wait. But I don't feel like waiting anymore and the video is ending. So I do apologize if it's very loud. I don't know why they're flying. It's like 8:40 at night. You had all day. That kind of just wraps it up. I do want to hear from you guys. I love the interactions. Either that's liking, commenting, obviously subscribing. I would like more people to kind of join my channel. I'm looking to build a community of people who are interested in the same books I am and get recommendations and give recommendations. So if you're interested, if anything seemed intriguing about the books I've read, or maybe you just want to follow me along on my goals and then you can have a platform to share your goals, definitely subscribe. A cat's banging out the door now. It's like everything. That's okay. This channel is going to be chaos, I guess. Starting off the year great. What? Anyways, that wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments the amount of books you read in 2024, if you did any reading, and the amount of books you hope to read in 2025. Let me know if you have any specific New Year's goals, kind of like I did. Any specific genres or how many books. Anything maybe if you're trying to read out of your comfort zone. Maybe you're trying to read more big books versus small books. Anything at all, let me know down in the comments below. I'd like to see your goals and maybe I could take some of those goals and make them my own. I'll steal them. That's right. I'm not going to borrow them, but I'll steal them. But anyways, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I will update you guys with another video sometime soon. I don't want to say I'm going to do them weekly just because I am in nursing school, but you'll see me again. Anyways, my socials will be listed down the bottom if you want to follow. I am trying to get more into posting besides just YouTube, more book content, whether that's Goodreads, Lemon8, Instagram. I don't really use any other apps, I guess that's kind of it. But I am an interesting person. Sometimes. Sometimes. But anyways, thanks for joining. I will stop yapping because I could talk all day. I really could. That is all I have. I appreciate you for joining, and here's to 2025. See you in the next one.